What up, world? It's your boy Jaystar back again with the Sunday night football showdown, man. Let's get it. What a great game, man. Oh my God, man. Finally we get that game on Thursday, like, oh God, that was ugly, y'all. That was ugly. Like, oh man, I hope to never see a game like that again. Like, oh goodness gracious. Like, that's how y'all doing Amazon? But anyway, let's get into this game here, man. I love this. This is such a great rivalry matchup right here, in Baltimore. But we gonna get right into it, with the defensive scheme and how each team should be able to attack. So that way we can get the best captain and get the best flats. And if we got to go down to to a sleeper play, we'll find that out too as we go. So for Baltimore here, they run a 3-4 defense. For Cincinnati, it's a 4-3 defense. So we're going to get into the Baltimore side of things. They need to establish the run and then be able to hit on deep shot plays. Since there's no Rashad Bateman, to me, who comes big in play automatically when I look at that, of course, Duvernay, we know he goes deep down the field, but he plays in the slot, for a receiver for them. So I'm thinking Demarcus Robinson. Man, could be a man. Matter of fact, how much is he at captain? 42? No way. Well, no way he's 42 at captain. Wow, that is, yeah. I mean, I get it. They didn't know. They didn't know he, because oh my God, he's probably gonna be needed to take a captain. Because I already been looking over this slate and like it's looking really hard to fill in everybody. So because just so we go like how I always do too, after I go over the defense stuff, I'm gonna go over just the fantasy points that could happen for all positions. So Ravens giving up 27 fantasy points to quarterbacks, y'all. Running backs, they're giving up 23. Wide receiver, they're giving a total of 52 fantasy points. And at tight end, they're giving 10 points fantasy. So the Bengals on their side, quarterback, they're giving up 22.5 fantasy points. Running back, they're giving 19.5 fantasy points. And receiver, they're only giving up 32. And tight end, they're giving 10. So I kind of would say, like, if they're giving up 32, but if somehow Lamar Jackson is throwing crazy to Robinson. And the best thing about Lamar, even though I know a lot of people don't like taking him with his receivers and stuff, it seems though like a speedster receivers, they always give him speedster receivers first of all, and he always hits them on like deep route, like deep catches every time. Like I think he's played a game already. I know he's got a touchdown at least, so that's good to see that he's already had a little bit of chemistry with him. I expect his targets to go up to about 5 to 6. Like I say, the best thing about him though is like when you go look at Rashad Bateman stats, what you got here, 75-yard long, see what I mean, 55-yard long, 35-yard long. Like every time the Lamar connects with his receivers, it's a deep play, y'all, and they usually go for touchdowns like these ones right here, so that's what makes them in play so quick, because once they catch that, is like if they catch one more just nice deep shot, they're in for near close to 100 yards, So that's why I just say Demarcus Robinson has to be excited that he's about to get an opportunity to be a starting receiver, because this team runs a 2 wide receiver set. So he's definitely usually never on the field. It's usually Bateman and just what I want to say, Duvernay, are usually the main receivers that's always on the field. So now he gets to probably be on the field snap count probably near close to 90 to 80% of the time at least. And that's why I could say like he's possible to be captain in this game, because once they establish the run against the Bengals, which I feel like they are going to be able to, because you have a electrifying rushing quarterback. And then you have another pretty electric to me running back. Like Dobbins was really nice his first year, like when he got to play. And he has a burst of speed and shiftiness and all that. And when you run that RPO option and things like that, he's always should be able to run. And then if not, Lamar Jackson's gonna pick it up then instead. So they gotta be fearful of both of these two running the ball at all times. At the same time, if you slip and miss, make a mistake on thinking that they running the ball, then Demarcus Robinson is probably deep down the field wide open. And I just don't see Lamar Jackson mixing that. So definitely you got to say Lamar Jackson's in play to be a captain here. Mark Andrews is definitely in play just because of the amount of targets we know he can receive, and we know when they get to the red zone he's going to be looking for him. So he's in play, but also like I say, Duvernay too. Duvernay could be in play there too as well, man. The slot cornerback on Cincinnati, yeah, he's pretty good, but I feel like Duvernay could slip, past them or something and go deep down the field with his speed and catch a touchdown at least, and could be in for almost 100 yards. So, and then in this game, like since there's so many fantasy points being able to be given up, like 20 something fantasy points for both quarterbacks, that could make possibly them both being needed in this lineup somehow. So you're probably going to need a lower captain, just letting y'all know. But Let's keep it moving to all the other flex options here for to go with Lamar. If you end up rolling Lamar as captain or something like that, so we're gonna see. We got, of course, we got Demarcus Robinson, Andrews, Duvernay. I noticed, they run a double, tight end set all the time. So likely, could be in. Of course, all the way down here to Ricard. He's in on every freaking play, y'all. Every freaking play. I don't know if y'all watch Baltimore, but I've been watching them, and it's funny watching Ricard, moving like he's a what I want to say, a motion receiver, man, on every play, y'all. It's really funny. If you watch the game, watch it closely and watch how he like moves left to right at all times, like on every play. It's like the run out of goals follows behind him, or they try to distract it by making it look like that's where the run's gonna go. Because every time, most of the time, he blocks for the running back for those type of play, or blocks for Lamar. So they kind of try to distract you sometimes and send him away where they're not running the ball, which helps their run game perform really well. So definitely he's in play though as a sleeper play option. If you end up rolling Lamar, you're probably going to need to go all the way down here anyways to get everybody you need for this game. Likely is also in play just because, like I said, they run double tight end, and he's been the only one I think I've seen so far getting the ball, like targets at least to him, 5, 4, 2. Yeah, I know the last game didn't get none, but that was in that crazy rainy game and stuff like that, so that could have been why. But he's definitely in play. And I want to say, let's see, I don't think the other tight end, Nick Boyle, has been playing at all, so I can't really say him. Like I said, likely is definitely, we know Justin Tucker. I would have to say he's in play as a flex option as well. And I think I want to say that's about it. Also, we know the defense. I mean, we know that they're bad. They've been getting bad, just getting destroyed in the past. But also, man, who knows? At home rivalry could be, just, I don't know, playing with an extra juice, man. Playing with extra juice, knowing that what's his name? What I want to say, Burrow's line is still trash. Like, they still allow you to get pressure, still allow you to tackle him. You never know in rivalries, man, what could go wrong, man. They could get a sack, fumble, recovery, pick off of that mess. And, a lot of people, I'm sure, wouldn't think he would get picked against the Ravens defense because the way they giving up. But I can see it happening in a rivalry since they are at home. And like I say, getting pressure to them could still happen. So that's about all the plays here, I would say, from this side. I don't think there's anybody else. I know there's probably some other receiver like Prochet should probably be pushed up higher. I think he was already playing in the slot, but like I say, this team runs a double receiver set, so you could take a shot at him. You could, catch a deep ball down the field. So I just have to throw him, say that he could do something too. I don't know if they're gonna put Wallace in for like. I mean, he hasn't played since week 2, so I mean, it's a super sleeper if you're taking him. But like I said, they'll double tight end, 2 wide receiver set team. So all these people right here that's in right here that I have showing y'all is all the people that's gonna play most of the snaps. And so you more than likely better off choosing between these people if you want to put in your flex option there. And as well, of course, I mean, I know Tucker is not in on every snap, but Tucker with the kicks and stuff and how far he can kick the ball. Like I always say this, any kicker kick the ball 50 yards, man, 2 of those is 10 points. Like, it's the fastest and quickest 10 points you can get. So just gotta say, definitely he's involved because of that reason. And so on the other side of this game, though, go back to the top here, we know we have Chase. Hasn't exploded yet since, I want to say, game 1, right, when Higgins got out the game and he just had the bulk load of targets after that. It's been weird to me because I thought they would move him around a lot more. Like, they said they was gonna move him in the slot a little bit, but I haven't really been seeing him move around like that. And it looks like what they have been doing to me is using him as a distraction to get Higgins open. That's how I feel. I feel like they let him go ahead and take the double coverage, and it opens up Higgins to have big plays. So until some of these teams stop doubling him and start doubling Higgins instead, since he has been performing very well, it's probably gonna be Higgins mostly every game then. Like, until they eventually stop double covering Jamar Chase so he can catch some of these big long plays multiple times in a game, and get a touchdown. Another thing I noticed though, I'm not saying that he can't be captain. I definitely feel like he can be captain this game because there's been like 3, 2, like maybe not in this game, but another like 2 at least opportunities I want to say that could have went for a touchdown in this game that they said he caught it like on the 1-yard line or something like that, and he went out of bounds and didn't extend the ball. This game definitely had about 3 of them, I want to say, of those type of plays. I know one, his foot didn't get down in time or something like that, went out of bounds. The other one was at the 1-yard line again. He didn't extend the ball. The next time he got to the 1-yard line, he got across the line and everything. So He's been so close to having a huge breakout game. So I know a lot of people probably ain't gonna take him at captain, because of the fact that his recency bias of his numbers is trash. Like to be a captain wise, yeah, you almost don't even need him at all. The way he's been playing. Like even if he puts up these numbers, I don't see you needing him. So it could be a good fade, could not be because of the fact Baltimore gives up so many fantasy points to receivers. It's in play for two receivers to get off in this game. So definitely, like I say, Chase, captain, Burrow's in play just because both of his receivers could go off so well that he can end up being there, and then he's a cheaper play too to put at captain. So definitely that would put him in there. Higgins is definitely in play again at captain. And let me see, which team was it that gives up the most points fantasy to running backs? Oh, it was Baltimore. So Baltimore gives up 23. So I have to say Mixon is still in play then, because if he does get all 23 fantasy points, then he will be, possible captain there. So these are all the captain plays to me from this side. Now, as we go to just flex options, I would take out Mixon just because I'm trying to get just all the pass catching options for flex in here. So Boyd is definitely in play for a flex option here. I think Hurst is questionable. What's wrong with him though? Growing okay, because he's still getting a little bit involved, like game by game and stuff like that. And the Ravens aren't that great against tight ends, giving up 10 fantasy points. The way, like I said, could be what I want to say, like a substitute option if he gets to those 10 fantasy points to 11 or something like that in this game, overtaking Chase somehow. If Chase delivers another 11 fantasy points, if he did that, I don't mind you trying to be different and tossing in Hurst or something like that. Also, what has Tyler Boyd been getting? Because if Chase is getting those subpar numbers, at least 2 times he's crossed, past 10 or something like that. So I mean, definitely he's in play too to be a substitute option. But I do got a feeling though Chase is probably gonna be the guy. My bad, I didn't mean to put Burrow still in there and not Chase. I think Chase is definitely in for a big game, man. And this feels like the time. He usually kills Baltimore too. Now I really think about it, he usually really does kill Baltimore. So you want to watch out. I think I would have more Chase than probably the field is probably going to have, just because of recency bias, even at captain spot here, because I think a lot of people might not put him there. Trying to see who else. Like I said, Hurst, I'll toss him in there. And McPherson is always in play for me because he kicks 50-yard long field goals in, man. And like I told y'all, 2 of those 10 points, fastest 10 points you can get. And if he does 3 of them, then we talking about the fastest 15 points you can get. So definitely he's in play. Anybody below that? I don't really like the Bengals defense. I usually like when rivalries play. I'd rather have a home defense than the away defense. I know Lamar has been throwing picks though, so I mean you could take a shot there if you want to, especially the fact that he's missing a receiver. I'm trying to see if there anybody else that I like here. Let's see this running back here. He ain't really played. Backup running back there. Sometimes it just feels like you don't need to get too fancy and stuff. You know what I mean? Like I feel like just go with the obvious plays here this time. Doesn't really feel like Ossie is. I know they had the other tight end though, Wilcox. He would probably be the only other person I would toss in there. If Hurts, you gotta look out for Hurts. If Hurts is out, I don't mind taking Wilcox, man. Like Baltimore isn't good against tight ends. He gets a starting role for tight end. Ossie being questionable. He's been questionable for a few games, so Wilcox could be in play for a pretty decent amount of targets, man. If both of those two could be out or something like that, so that would be the lowest I would go there if you have to go like for that side if you want to pick somebody. And so that's it for that. If I had to put a storyline, like I be telling y'all when I do these showdowns, you gotta put a story together. If you was thinking, like, this is what I try to do now to make my story a little easy. If you saw this game on the full slate, like the full Sunday slate of games, how would you think this game is gonna go, and how would you stack it? And just basically like either way, like if you thought Lamar was gonna win, how are you stacking that? Like, and so who do you think is putting up the most points, with Lamar then? Like if it's a receiver or tight end basically, and you're stacking those two with Lamar, or the running back to receiver with him, which out of those 3 then do you think is going to have the most fantasy points? And then just load them in there. So basically, if I'm doing the other side of that, sorry for the noise in the background. If I'm doing the other side of that, because since Baltimore is the one that gives up the most receiving options, I would definitely think like I would probably go with another Higgins, again at captain, which I know everybody's gonna have this captain spot, but I'm definitely tossing in Chase because I'm thinking that he gets both of them going this game. I just think I'm gonna need some of the savings though. The $4,000 I think savings I get here. Um, the hardest part to say here though, even though I have two receivers here, I almost think somehow Lamar, man, he's been like edging out quarterbacks though with his fantasy points. Like 43, 48, he actually outperformed Tua at points though. And it's about the points, man, in these showdowns. So I know he costs way more than Burrow, and I'm already picking two of his. It just feels like, man, like both his, and this is just a showdown. I know I said make it be an all day slate thing, but like at the same time, you need the most points since it is just a showdown. It's only one game. And if Lamar, like without having one of his receivers, he might be rushing galore in this game, like rushing crazy, man. He gets over 100 yards rushing, throws at least two touchdowns at least, and runs one in. He's probably going to outplay Burrow. So I think kind of tossing in Lamar instead of having Burrow as a flex play here kind of makes it a little bit different, even though I have two receivers, of Burrow's, people, just to be different, just because, like I say, Lamar has been outdoing like every quarterback. So, and if he outdoes Burrow by like 10 points, you're going to need him over Burrow. So, and he's at home. So I just feel like he's going to step up huge. Then I would say, since, like I said, they messed up with the price with Robinson, I would think Robinson would be a great run back in this game with Lamar Jackson or something like that. Or like if I was thinking, like if I did it on full slate, I probably would have Burrow, and I would have Chase Higgins, running back Demarcus Robinson since he's so cheap. After that, I think I would kind of go to the kickers. That's what I think. Just I don't know. I just feel like these teams probably get stopped a few times, and they have really good kickers. I know at least a lot of money on this slate if I did something like this, but I just like they kickers a lot, man. Over kind of the targets above them. I feel like, of course, Andrews was great, but I don't even think I could afford Andrews when I had the money here. Let's see, like, can I afford Andrews? Maybe. I mean, you could probably toss Andrews in there, and you got 2,100. You can do that. He could probably get there, but then you got to go with Likely, Ricard, or like I said, all the way down here to Wilcox or something like that. That's probably the best plays if you wanted to do it that way. If you didn't want to have that much money on the, in remaining salary. But yeah, something like this I could see happening. I just, like I say, it's gonna be hard taking Burrow over Lamar, man, at home, man. There's something about that rushing ability, man. God, them points, they add up so fast. So I definitely feel like something like this could win it all or something like that. Like, and figuring out which ones you want to throw here in the two other options here in the flex. But also definitely, like I say, Lamar at captain could just be it. Just because of all the rushing he's probably gonna do. You're just gonna have to find a lot more value plays. Like I say, both kickers is both in play to me in this game by far, just because they both kicking 50-yard long kicks and things like that. And you talking about could both have 15 points fantasy easily. Just if they get stopped 3 times at 50 yards away, then they both gonna kick it. And you talking about 15 points, bang, bang, bang. That easy got 15 points, and you hoping on some other receivers to get there, and they probably not, other than Chase Higgins, Demarcus Robinson, and Andrews, probably the best people to get over 15 points. So yeah, that's about it though. Like that's how I think I would roll with the storyline to this game. If y'all have comments, leave them below, for this video so I can hear what y'all think. What did y'all think was the best plays and stuff like that in this game. But good luck, man, on this Sunday night game. $500,000 on the line, y'all. I hope y'all win that big money, man. And it's your boy Jaystar, and I'm out. Peace.